Hello, friends, and welcome back. So, guys, Germany may be heading into one of the most defining political battles of 2026. And it's not just about the elections, it's about the identity. Chancellor Friedrich Merz has publicly and firmly stated that the CDU will never form a coalition with the far right alternative for Dustland. On the surface, that sounds like a routine political line, but in today's Germany environment, that statement carries explosive weight. Yes, guys, the AfD is no longer a fringe party. In several eastern states, it polls as the strongest political force. Immigration tensions, economic slowdown, energy price shocks, and voter frustration have reshaped Germany's political landscape. And while the mainstream parties once treated AfD as a temporary protest movement, it has now embedded itself deeply into the regional politics. So, guys, Mer's refusal to cooperate is rooted in the CDU's traditional stance of maintaining what Germans call the Brandmauer, the firewall against extremist politics. The CDU leadership argues that cooperating with AfD would normalize nationalist rhetoric and damage Germany's post World War II democratic identity. In their view, this is not just about coalition arithmetic, it's about constitutional values. But here is where is the debate intensifies, guys. If AfD continues to gain the seats, especially in eastern Germany, coalition mathematics becomes complicated. In some state parliaments, excluding AfD means forming broad and sometimes unstable alliances between parties that disagree on almost everything else from taxation to climate policy. Critics of Merz argue that refusing to engage politically with the party that millions of Germans vote for may deepen polarization rather than solve it. And supporters, however, warn that once mainstream conservatives cooperate with the far right populist, the political center shifts permanently. They often point to other European examples where conservative parties partnered with nationalist groups only to see long term ideological consequences. So, guys, for Merz, the calculation seems clear. Short term electoral advantage is not worth long term institutional risk. But the real story here isn't just CDU versus AfD, it's about voter psychology in 2026. Germany is facing multiple pressures at once. The war in Ukraine continues to influence defense spending and energy security debates. Inflation may have cooled compared to peak levels, but economic anxiety remains. Industrial competitiveness is under strain, and migration continues to dominate public discourse. In that environment as well, protest voting becomes attractive. AfD's message is simple and emotionally powerful, guys. National sovereignty, stricter immigration control, skepticism toward EU centralization, and criticism of what they describe as elite political consensus. Whether one agrees or disagrees with those positions, the messaging resonates with voters who feel unheard. Mer's challenge is therefore strategic. By rejecting AfD categorically, he reinforces the serious democratic credentials. But he must simultaneously offer solutions enough to pull conservative leaning voters back from the AfD. If he simply says never without addressing the issues driving AfD's rise, the firewall may hold symbolically but erode politically. There is also an international dimension here. Germany remains the economic engine of the European Union. Any major shift in Berlin's political alignment would affect Brussels' NATO commitments, defense policy, and EU migration frameworks. That is why this debate extends beyond domestic party rivalry. European partners are watching this closely. Another layer of complexity is generational, guys. Younger urban voters often prioritize climate action and social liberalism, while older or rural voters may prioritize economic security and national identity. The CDU must balance these internal demographics while facing AfD pressure from the right and Greens or SPD pressure from the center left. Historically, German post war politics was defined by stability and predictable coalitions. But fragmentation is increasing. Smaller parties gain leverage. Voters are less loyal. Trust in institutions fluctuates. In that context, Mer's statement is not just moral positioning, It is a higher risk strategic bet on the resilience of the political center. So, guys, the critical question is this: does isolating AFD weaken it over time, or does it strengthen its anti establishment narrative? If AFD can claim that the system blocks us despite voter support, that message may mobilize even more protest voters. On the other hand, more normalization through coalition participation could legitimate rhetoric that mainstream parties find dangerous. Germany now faces a dilemma many democracies confront: how to manage rising populism without either suppressing representation or legitimizing extreme positions. As 2026 unfolds and regional elections approach, the debate will intensify. Poll numbers will fluctuate. Coalition scenarios will be modeled repeatedly. But, guys, the deeper issue remains: this is not just about one party alliance, it is about what kind of political culture Germany wants in the next decade. So, guys, will the firewall strategy protect democratic norms, or will it reshape the political map in ways that accelerate polarization? That is the real question behind Merz versus AfD, and the answer will define Germany's political trajectory far beyond this election cycle. So, guys, if you found this analysis valuable, stay tuned because understanding structural political shifts is far more important than reacting to daily headlines. And I will see you guys in the next discussion. Will so stay engaged, guys, and stay subscribe to us so you never miss an update. And also let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think on this? We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.